Hey everybody, I am Kevin Lee Father, Kevin Williams, and this is the Lie Stream. And today we have Trump talking to police officers or law enforcement, and Jared is there for some reason, saying that, hey, we fixed everything. We've heard the communities, we've addressed it, and we fixed it. Bill Barr is there, and I guess, he's the AG, that makes sense. And for the entire month of May, Trump has not taken questions from reporters. It's the 8th, and he hasn't answered any questions from reporters except for one, the day that he signed the proclamation on something or other, and someone shouted out, "How are you going to address racism?" And he said, by having a good economy. That's his plan. So I'll wait until somebody gets into the chat room here, and then we'll play it. We're not going to watch the whole thing because it's just another Dear Leader conference. A round table around a rectangular table. Hey Danielle. Okay, so we've got people in there. Hey Stephanie, here we go. Let's watch. He doesn't say very much. It's very quick. It's mostly other people talking between. We'll do Trump. We'll find Jared talking about how everything's been fixed. Thank you, protesters. And then we'll just do Trump at the end. And again, he doesn't answer any questions. I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't sit there through every single law enforcement representative. But I did hear several of them say, hey, we've been kind of decimated by COVID. But thank God that's all over. So here we go.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to have some of the true leaders in our country of law enforcement, and that's what they've done. They've enforced the laws. They've done a fantastic job of it. We have among the best numbers we've ever had in terms of recorded history, certainly, but this has been...
Well, there would be no numbers before recorded history. That's sort of how that works.
A very strong year for less crime. Let's put it that way, less crime. And there's a reason for less crime. That's because we have great law enforcement. I'm very proud of them.
Plus, people are staying inside because there's a pandemic. Also that.
There won't be defunding. There won't be dismantling of our police. And there's not going to be any disbanding of our police. Our police have been letting us live in peace, and we want to make sure we don't have any bad actors in there. And sometimes you'll see some horrible things like we witnessed recently, but 99, I say 99.9, but let's go with 99% of them are great people, and they've done jobs that are record-setting. So our crime statistics are at a level that they haven't been at. And I just want to go around the room and just ask each one of the folks to...
And there's been several studies around the country that show that racism within the police departments is systemic and systematic.
Say hello and tell a little bit about themselves and the success they've had, and then we're going to go and have a meeting as to where we go from here. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Let's find Jared here.
Thank you for. But that one incident.
Progress on the system and everything.
Nope.
So thank you.
So it's an honor to work together
Here we
to
go.
fix it, and enforcement. We worked for.
Jared, please.
See what Trump says to the previous person, and then go to Jared. Or not.
We're
C-SPAN?
happy to be a part of this conversation,
There we go.
and that's why we're here. So thank you.
Great job,
and very
Rob.
much appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Rob. Great job.
Thank you.
We've known each other a long time now. Really good.
It's all relationships with Trump.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you all for joining. We've really, over the last 3.5 years, have had the opportunity to grow very close with law enforcement. We worked very closely together to bring forward to this country criminal
Is his mic
justice
on? Can you guys hear
reform. The
anything?
law enforcement community heard
I see
the
his
cries from
lips
the community,
moving.
saw the injustices in the system that needed to be fixed.
I think
and they
the audio's
responded
off.
by
I
coming
can't hear him.
together to fix it, and it's been a great partnership to do that. Those reforms make our communities
I'm
safer
just getting
and have made our system
whining
fairer,
noise.
and that's the type of action that
Let me go
and they
back and
respond
see. Maybe you
to
guys
bring
can hear
forward
him.
to this country criminal justice reform. The law enforcement community heard the cries from the community, saw the injustices in the system that needed to be fixed, and they responded by coming together to fix it, and it's been a great partnership to do that. Those reforms make our communities safer and have made our system fairer, and that's the type of action that we've been able to accomplish by working together. So
That's it. We fixed it. We heard the communities, and it's been addressed, and it's fixed. So, burn some calories, protesters.
What we've seen in the past is that the meetings together and the work together doesn't just result in reports and in nice talking points. It actually results in progress and actual policies that make people's lives better and make communities safer. So it's an honor to work together, and hopefully at this time where there's a lot of people in the country who are feeling different pain and feeling different concerns, law enforcement can be a leader in coming together and helping us work towards bringing solutions that could bring this country forward. So thank you very much for the partnership.
Didn't he just say that all the solutions have been already applied?
Thanks so much,
Okay.
Mr. President.
All right.
We got involved.
Let's go forward to
Challenge
Bill
today
Barr says something
said
here too. Let me see if I can find him.
with today.
I didn't listen to him, but let's see what he says. Let's go back.
Trust for
Oh, he speaks for quite a while.
true and making them law. And we just thank you again for allowing us to be here, and know that you have a friend in Illinois, and anything you need, just let us know. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Tony. You do a great job, too. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bill, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, for convening this session. It's good to join with all my friends and colleagues from the law enforcement community, many of whom I've worked with over the years. I think law enforcement fully understands and has understood for some time the distrust that exists in the African American community toward the criminal justice system. And as I've been reflecting on this over the past few days and weeks, it struck me that for most of our history, in fact, maybe just up to 60 years ago, the law was explicitly discriminatory and did not provide equal protection. It's only been since the early 60s that our law has actually provided equal protection to African Americans. And what we've had over the past 50 years or so is reform of our institutions so that they reflect those values, the values upon which our country was founded. And some institutions, such as the military, have done an excellent job of reforming. And law enforcement has too. That's one thing I understand from being Attorney General 30 years ago. And what makes me very optimistic today is that the law enforcement leaders that we deal with, and you all know this, no one is more committed to reforming the criminal justice system and the profession of policing today. And there hasn't been a president recently who has been more committed. He didn't require the crisis we have today to get started with the First Step Act and with establishing a commission which has been looking at the very issues we're dealing with today. And I know there's a lot of interest.
Okay, so he talks, and he's aware that there are issues, and really it's only been 60 years, theoretically, since African Americans had equal rights. The 14th Amendment, which provides for equal rights, was actually late 1860s, 1870s, right after the country, right after the Civil War. But anyway, in actual fact, blacks have never been afforded the same rights as whites en masse in this country. As long as we don't let women vote, we're going to be fine. That's what I've said. So let's go on from him, go right to Trump.
To be a part of this conversation.
Just seeing.
Here we go.
Conversation, and I look forward to working with you all and collaborating to better our communities and our society.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dan. Proud of you. So it's very interesting because I just see in some of the papers they want to end.
That's C-SPAN pausing, not me. Hi, everybody, by the way. Thanks for joining me. This isn't going to be a long one. We'll do the credits, though. I still haven't come up with the opener. Or maybe this will be a long one. Hello? Hello?
Nights, and they had a third night, which
Hello?
the police department, quote, end the police department in Minneapolis. End it. What does that mean? End it.
Means end it, but no one's saying that. They're saying defund it. Anyway.
They had a couple of very rough nights, and they had a third night which was not good. They abandoned their police precinct, something I've never seen before.
It's not synced, but that's C-SPAN. That's not on our end.
You had a mayor that asked them to abandon, and now they've abandoned the mayor, it looks like. The opposite of far thinking. You know, you say far thinking. Is that far thinking?
Close
So they had
thinking?
three really
What the hell is far thinking? Forward thinking?
bad nights, and then I insisted on bringing in the National Guard, and all of a sudden,
He did not call in the National Guard. He can't call in the National Guard. The governor called in the National Guard.
he insisted on having protection for that great city or that great state. A great state, Minnesota. What a horrible thing. That's where it started, and we ended very strong there once we got involved. We got involved right from the White House, and we weren't going to let that happen to that city or that state. And I think a lot of people took notice.
Tim Walz took notice. He's the governor, and he called in the National Guard.
The police are doing an incredible job. As I said, their records are being broken in terms of lack of crime. We
Records
had a
for lack of
tremendous year.
crime. Hi, Joanna. This is going to be short. He's almost done. He's not going to take any questions. I tuned in at the very end here, hoping he would take questions. For those of you who joined us just recently, Trump has not taken questions this month. He's been hiding out. You'll see at the end here, he just sort of sits there like a statue. Well, the press people say, okay, press, thank you, and clear the room. And then Trump pulls some sort of canister that's not tear gas, and the press leaves.
Tremendous 12 months, tremendous 36 months, I think you can say, during the term. Then you add 6 months to that. 3.5 years, it's gone by very quickly, but we've had a tremendous record on crime. And we're going to work and we're going to talk about ideas how we can do it better and how we can do it, if possible, in a much more gentle fashion. A thing like happened should never have happened. And plenty of things shouldn't have
A thing like happened should never have happened, and plenty of things shouldn't have happened.
But we can't give up the finest law enforcement anywhere in the world. There's nothing like it. Few people, few countries
I don't know. The Mounties are pretty cool. I mean, the horses.
have our record, and I'm talking about the positive record. So we're going to be discussing.
Few countries have our record? The crime rate in the United States and the incarceration rate in the United States is astronomical. We have more people in prison per capita. Well, granted, that depends on what kind of per capita you're talking about, than communist China.
Some ideas and some concepts and some things. But we won't be defunding our police. We won't be dismantling our police. We won't be
He actually doesn't get to control any of that.
disbanding our police. We won't be ending our police force in a city. I guess you might have some cities that want to try, but it's going to be very sad situation if they did, because people aren't going to be protected. These people do a tremendous job of protecting the citizens of our country, and that's what they're paid for. But
Yep.
whether they were paid or not, that's what they do. And, somebody put it very beautifully before.
But they're not going to do it if they don't get paid. But they're also not paid to kill our citizens if they're unarmed and they allegedly pass a fake $20 bill. By the way, all of us have likely passed a fake $20 bill at some point in our life. The reason we keep changing the currency is because it's so easy to counterfeit.
Where they said they protect people, risk their own lives for people they've never seen before. People, in many cases, they don't know. You're protecting the lives of people you don't know.
Yeah,
And
that's what police do.
It's an incredible thing. It's a great honor to be with you all. And we'll have a little discussion now. Thank you all very much for being here. Thank you.
Mr. President, can we just ask you a question? Mr. President, do you believe that kneeling is peaceful protest?
We're leaving. Let's go.
Bye, we're leaving. Let's go. That's it.
Kevin, let's go. We're leaving.
I'm leaving, okay? Kevin, let's go, okay? I don't know who was in there, but Kevin was causing problems. When is Kevin not causing problems? Okay, so that was it. 8 days into June, he still hasn't taken any questions from reporters. So, all right, let's see what you guys are talking about. Minneapolis City Council. Yes, some people on the Minneapolis City Council are talking about dismantling the police force, starting it again. Defunding the police is just a stupid slogan. It's ridiculous because oh no, it really means dismantling and then reassembling and then providing more for complete. And then you got the community services, the prevention. That people aren't going to understand that. And guess what? Stupid people get to vote too. That's why he's here. Defund the police. Ridiculous. My spell check in Chrome doesn't even recognize the word defund because it's really not a word. Anyway, reform the police, fine. Fix the police, fine. Spay and neuter the police, also good. Not defending the police here, by the way. I know everyone's angry at the police. There are some wonderful police officers. There are more than enough bad police officers. And whenever they've done studies, like after Freddie Gray in Baltimore, they find that there is systemic racism within the police force and the policies of that force. So yes, lots and lots of reform has to happen. Anyway, pepper ball. Yeah, they should have done the pepper balls. It was just the gas. And specifically, it was Mike Pence's gas. That's why they took off. Usually they'll stay on there yelling questions, but you can see Mike Pence was sitting right behind there. I think that was Pence. Was that Pence? I hate to be wrong. Where is he? Yeah, that's
that
Pence.
Kneeling is peaceful protest.
Quiet. Quiet. Yeah, Pence is sitting right there. He threw some gas. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Pull that. Okay, Shannon, yours is going to be the last comment I read. Danielle. Yes, we should all enjoy the word salad for the next few months while it lasts, because God willing, we will never have to listen to it again after November. Oh, I hope so. But you know what? Democrats are going to figure out a way to lose this thing. I hope I'm wrong, but they did it in 2016. Focus on the math. Focus on what's important. Move to a swing state where your vote counts. Anyway, I'm a little bit jaded today. Okay. There's a whole bunch more comments suddenly, too. I'll read those. The P problem is the police culture. Okay, that's gone. Can't read it. Sorry. You're all right. You know what? I should just shut down and let the chat window go. I should get a chat thing. I'll look into that. If anybody knows how to do a chat thing, just have like a whenever chat thing on Patreon or whatever. Hey, if you want to support this kind of stuff, usually it's better than this. You can go to kevinleefather.com, contribute there on Patreon. Hold on, Kevin Lee Daughter's yelling at me. What? Usually it's better than this. If you want it to be better than this, we'll hire a host. That's what we'll do. Go to kevinleefather.com and you can become a patron there. Joanna just says, oh, Lordy. I think you're right. I'm not going to argue with that. Danielle, sorry, hit enter on accident. Some officers are horrid. Some are. Joanna laughed at Stephanie. Stephanie, what did you say? I don't know. David, he's high. Very likely. Very likely. I don't know. I don't know that we'll ever know the truth behind a lot of this. And if he is doing Adderall on a regular basis, I think there's something wrong with his brain. I don't even know that it's Adderall. It doesn't have to be.
There's something wrong with my brain?
Where?
Yeah, obviously there is.
Not your brain.
No, but if I'm taking Adderall, I'll be dead. There's something wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, does that make something wrong with your brain? Doesn't Adderall help your brain? Yeah. Adderall helps people's brain if you need it. But you shouldn't be doing Adderall if you're not prescribed Adderall, obviously. I don't think he's doing coke, Joanna. Diet Coke, lots and lots of Diet Coke. Maybe he's actually doing like diet cocaine. Someone told him, oh no, this is diet cocaine. It's very good for you. Doesn't put on any weight. That's why I'm only 238. Just like Sherry's absolutely right. I think we'll end with that. Racism will disappear in April. Like a miracle. It will be gone. This is how racism works. Like that. You guys can't see the full. I'll do it up here. There we go. Just like that. That's the slope of racism in the United States. Benzo. I learned what benzo was from Post Malone. Because I'm cool like that. All right, David. All right, Joanna. All right, Green Room. All right, Sherry. All right, Stephanie. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Sorry there wasn't more to this, but honestly, Trump has been running away from the media. He's going to have a meeting with the officers and etc. right now, and they'll solve all of America's problems. And then I don't anticipate there being any comments afterwards. If there are, I'll bring them to you if I notice. If not, We have to go do some curbside pickup, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're going to do a cookie tasting test later. I don't know how I'm allowed to show that to you. So if I'm allowed to share it with you guys, I will. But Kevinly daughter has her own ideas about that. Am I still in my PJs? Do those look like PJs to you? Here's your credits.